a few weeks ago, something happened. There was a protest, I should call it, and people were speaking against the indigene status bill that was sponsored by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. And I remember saying that this will not be the last of it. It's going to come in another way. Anyway, the man does not disappoint. He has sponsored a new bill, and essentially what he's looking for is sponsoring a bill to include VAT in exclusive list. And that bill has killed second reading at the House of Representatives. What are we seeing here? Unitary system. You say you want true federalism. You say you want to have a situation where different groups can actually move at their own pace and everybody can do well, yet you want to centralize everything. Why on earth would you be talking about something like this in 2025? So, for instance, Lagos makes this much money in VAT. Oyo State, for instance, made more money or is making more money than all the states in Southeast put together. The northeastern part of Nigeria, where there is Boko Haram, has more VAT than the southeast. Yet, a representative of the southeast is saying that whatever Lagos makes, whatever Oyo State makes, whatever Borno makes, should be put in the same pool and shared amongst everybody. And it should be exclusive. This is 2025. We're looking for a way to devolve powers. And this man is saying, let us concentrate everything at the center in 2025 to your law. Just like that indigenous status nonsense, this one will also not go beyond second reading, because we are going to still make noise, and when time comes for public hearing, we'll go against it as well. Why on earth will people not think of how to actually generate more in their space? Are we not supposed to be creative? How much more can we make in? Are you telling me that there's nothing that can come out of the south? I think great things can come out of the southeast. Are you saying you can't think of something to do? In other words, you are not concerned about productivity in your region. What you want is whatever everybody has made must be shared with you, even if you are producing nothing. And we talk, the adults, I don't know if it's an adult. This one, the man said, is because they are Igbo. Why are we thinking? Every bill is looking as if you are looking for a way to take what doesn't belong to you in the name of one Nigeria. What's this? To go after second reading, they will do committee, then they will have public hearing before the third reading. It will die just like that indigene status bill. There is no. Listen, we have come to a point in Nigeria where we should be discussing resource control, where the folks in Delta states should be talking about the fact that they own that oil. I've said it before, 33% of the crude oil in this country is from Warri. The Southeast as a whole, Anambra, Abia, and Imo, the three of them together, they produce 2.1%. 2.1. Lagos has about 2.4, 2.7 thereabout. Edo has 2.3. Ondo is about 3.8 or a little over 4 point something. The big boys are Delta, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, and Bayelsa. I'm not from an oil producing state. I don't have to take anything from them. So the conversation today is not even about 13% derivation. It should be, how do we ensure that the folks from that place, because they're the ones that bear the brunt of whatever happens, like when you have environmental degradation, it affects folks in that place more than, in that sense, more than it will affect people from where I come from. So the conversation now should be about how are they going to be able to control more of the resources? And you can argue that, they have a lot of money, they're not spending it well. That's their business. It's their own. If they like, they can spend it well. If they like, they should not spend it well. It's not my business. My business is actually to fight for them to be able to control that thing because it belongs to them. Why on earth would the person wake up in 2025 and be saying that whatever you are making, put it in a pool and share it with us, even if you are not productive? Because we are one Nigeria. You see, this national unity thing, I think in the Southeast, it means something totally different from the rest of us. This is not governance, and this is not wise. Asking to have VAT included in the exclusive list. We just It was just the twilight of Buhari's regime that tenure that removed electricity from the exclusive list. It's not concurrent. That's what we need, so that now individuals can generate electricity, local governments can generate electricity, states can do the same thing, not just federal government, national grid. Why are we not thinking like that across board? Why would a person who claims to be representing people now go all the way and say, oh, this VAT, oh, and by the way, they will never have a conversation about how to increase VAT in the Southeast. Never. The goal is whatever you have generated in the Southwest, in the South, even in the North Central and Northeast. Like I said, the Northeast made more VAT, more revenue than the Southeast. And I can't believe it, because Northeast has Boko Haram. So you're not going to challenge yourself and find a way to make your place better so that you can actually, because I know that that place can generate stuff. I mean, I've been there. It's not like it's so totally bad like that. But no, you're not going to talk about productivity. It's about everything where they generate from other places. So I must to get my own share of that thing. How do we call that growth? It's a shame. The kind of people who are leading, well, the bill will die just like the other one. But this is what the unitary mindset is. And this always, I mean, this goes on to prove exactly what I've been saying. All of us in Nigeria, there'll be what was I calling? What did I call it earlier? Exceptions. There'll be exceptions. But all of us, generally, we are the direct product of the prevailing political ideology that existed in our regions in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Because what this man is talking about is unitary system all over again. This is the mindset that created the Iransi. This is the mindset that dominated the entire civil service. It's the same mindset. And if you are Yoruba and you hear people say things, when you talk, they say, oh, you are a tribalist. You are not a tribalist. You are actually seeing things and calling it out. And let me say this. The other man who said that the Kalu case is Yoruba civil war versus Igbo, I've never thought of it before. Bible says, to the pure, all things are pure. If your mind is dirty, there's no purity that you can ever find in you. Because I don't know why you even think in that direction. And it's a way of shutting people down, but it's not going to work again. So everyone, in fact, somebody even tagged me with this. Everyone, when the time comes to have public hearing, speak up. The bill to include VAT in exclusive list must die. It's a demonic bill. It's a bill that it's retrogressive. We should be progressing. We should be finding a way to make sure that when the gas, right, that is in Imo State, when they eventually start to tap that gas and exploit, let that money belong to the people from that place. I will fight for that. I don't want to share from it. Why? Why would I want to share what you have? Have it. We should have something similar to what we had in the First Republic. 50%. This was recent proposal. 50% of what you. Let me explain the way they used to do it back then. We have 3 regions. This region makes money. You know what the Eastern, Jesus is Lord. Do you know what the Eastern region said in the 1950s when it came to allocation formula? You will not believe this. I just remembered now. They said, and you will find this in the book by E.A. Ayodele, The Educated Elite in the Nigerian Society. The Southeast, just like their son today, what they said in the 50s was that they should share revenue in Nigeria based on needs. Do you know what that means? They should share the revenue. Every region should share the revenue based on needs. What that means basically is this. If the Southwest makes, or let's say, then we have Northern region, Western region, and the Eastern region. If the Western region made, say, £1 million, right? And the Eastern region needs to build something that will cost, let's say £500. The government should be able to give the Eastern region that £500 because it's based on needs and they need it more than you, that you are making the money. This was in the 1950s. And the Western region said no, it will be shared based on derivation. So what did they do? They said 50% of what the region makes, the region gets to keep. 30% is put in a pool, a DP, a distributable pool. Then the remaining 20% goes to the federal government to take care of everything the federal government does, civil service, all those things, right? So you have 50 to the region of origin, 30% to the distributable pool, and then and then 20% to the federal government. But the Igbo said no. What they wanted was to be able to share that money according to need. But guess what? As soon as oil was discovered, the Igbo said they don't want it to be needs anymore. It should be based on derivation. Even though that oil was not in Igbo land, it was in Ijo land. The mindset is the same. You are studying Nigeria's history and you look at the newspaper, it's like the same thing. It's deja vu. Every day you read the newspaper, it's deja vu. And if you don't understand this, you'll be like, oh, I don't want to talk, so they'll not see me as a tribalist. If you think I'm a tribalist, that is your business. But you cannot live like this. It pulls everybody back. And so what them Awo did back in the 50s, those things have to be done again. You insist this is the same way of doing things, not the selfish way of doing it, because selfishness usually is insane. Take what belongs to everybody as long as it makes you feel good. And then as soon as, let's say, some company just move into the east, for instance, everything will change. It's like, I mean, was it not last month that the governor of Imo State was talking about how major companies should be back in Imo State so they can be collecting more VAT in Imo State? What will now happen now? Let me tell you what will happen. No matter what you want to collect, you cannot collect. You know, if you collect rich Lagos, unless of course you creatively come up with another solution. But based on the status quo, is not. In fact, you don't even if you collect up to Oyo State. I'm not joking. Oyo State VAT first half of this year is more than times 2 of what the entire southeastern region made. I don't think you heard me. It's more than times 2 of what the entire southeastern region made. One state. Not Lagos. Oyo. Oyo State made more money than Northeast. Northeast and Northwest combined, no reach Oyo. So what we are doing right now is this. Whichever region, there was a video I played a few days ago. I think it was on Wednesday. I don't know if you, again, let's be putting these things together. I put a video, it was an interview where the former Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, was talking about Mumbai. The idea that the money that was made in the city was being used by the government of the city to take care of the entire state, take care of the farmers. And he was saying, is it not possible that you actually ensure that the money that comes into Mumbai stays in Mumbai so you can use that to develop the city? And he said the problem was the bureaucracy and the law, because the Prime Minister of India was telling him that it's not going to work like that in their place. And he's saying that Mumbai will be dragged back by the state because the entire state is depending on the resources of that city. He's talking about a city and a state. Now think about a city and a nation or a country. So everybody basically just looks at what's happening mostly in the southwest and south-south, take that money and share with everybody, but not once have we had the conversation of how do we increase capacity in our regions. And we call these people leaders. A leader has foresight. A leader plans for his people. A leader is thinking of how, it's not about the short-term thing. You can get it now, grab them. It's a shame that these are the kind of, I mean, it's a shame. Hopefully, we actually begin to have the conversation that will lead to more devolution of powers. We'll have resource control conversation. I've said it before, when the gas in Imo State, explore, that money should be based on derivation, not 13% like we're doing with oil. It should be 50. Put 30 in the distributable pool. Just now we have 36 states. By the time you take 1%, you will go sleep. Then you have to think of what to do in your own region as well. Then give the federal government 20%. We did it. It worked. And the people who said, don't do it based on derivation. As soon as they found oil in their region, they said, no, we don't want needs again. That's with derivation. It's a stealing and thieving mindset. We have to be very intentional about if you want to build Nigeria, not if you want to do all this nonsense or just maintain the status quo where there's a particular group of people that make a lot of money and then they give the people crumbs. Because let me ask you a question. If you didn't use the allocation you're getting right now judiciously, who's to say you're going to do anything when the time comes, when they even give you VAT, which is not going to happen, by the way. Yesterday is one of the news items there. The chief of staff, I think, to the president, former speaker of House of Representatives, he opened a school, donated a school, a public school, beautiful structure. And folks from the south are saying, how is it doing this? And people start putting out pictures. Do you know that an image that I saw that shocked me? Two, actually. One was a man, a politician in the south, is distributing wheelbarrows. And his name was on it, imprinted. That is empowerment. The other one was somebody with stalks, cassava stalks, stems, cassava stems, and that thing that looks like machete. That's supposed to be. So the problem is that you're not looking inward and say, what can I do to be better? You're just looking outwards. What can I do to collect from what these people have? Now the question is this: when you collect that thing, I can assure you it will not work for you. Oh, they fish and canry. Because the mindset to build is not there. It's just the mindset to take. So all the resources that people have should be. Somebody says we should rediscuss the crude oil derivation. Everything should be rediscussed. If you find gold, there's gold in Ife, there's gold in Elisha, there's gold in Zamfara. When they find that gold, why should they share it with anybody? There's oil in Warri. Warri should be like Dubai. 33% far, 33% of the crude oil. 33. That's a third. Is in one place. I mean, Warri is fine, but it could be better. And you know the funny thing about Nigeria, there is no single state in this country that doesn't have a mineral resource. Not one. Some have 5, some have 10, some have 20. There's no state that doesn't have. The kind of conversations you expect to be hearing, right, that you should be having in the parliament is how to explore these things, how to ensure that the people actually are taken care of based on what God has put in their soil. But no. And so they share money. And it's a shame. Who is this clown? Say Nigeria benefits from proceeds of oil from Southeast. I don't think you are hearing. Are you dull of hearing? The entire Southeast produces 2.1%. You have 3 oil producing states in the Southeast. The 3 of them produce less than Edo State. And Edo State produces 2.3%. And Edo State produces less than Lagos State. And Lagos produces less than Ondo State. And then you have the 4 big states, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and Rivers. 2.1% is not what Nigeria is. You are getting more than you are giving. As a matter of fact, when you compare what you are getting to what you are giving nothing. That's why whenever I hear people from the Southeast call Northerners parasites, I find it very funny. We have to redefine words in this country. Parasite. We need to create a new dictionary for Nigeria, especially from the southeastern part. And you have to include words like parasite, marginalization, victimhood, all those things have to be redefined. Unity. You need to redefine those things because this is not, it ain't working.